next week on The Young and the Restless.
Alright, you're back. So are we. No fluff, no long intros, just the spoilers you actually came here for. Let's talk about Claire Newman because the storyline is about to get really dark really fast. So Author Charles dropped something in May 8th episode that has been living in my head rent-free. She tells Noah straight up that Claire's so-called psycho girl side, the version of her that tried to kill the entire Newman family on Jordan's orders, is still very much alive underneath the sweet, well-adjusted exterior Claire's been showing everyone. Now, Author is obviously biased against Claire, we know that, but minor spoilers are suggesting she might not be entirely wrong. And that's what makes this so interesting. Claire did go through a psych ward stint after her Newman targeting rampage, and the show kind of let her come out the other side looking reformed and accepted into the family. But here's the thing, the writers never fully closed the door on that darker version of her. They left it cracked open, and now it looks like something is about to push it wide open again. The twist though? Spoilers hint that when Claire snaps, it won't be against the Newman family this time. She's fully one of them now. The trigger looks like it's going to be Matt Clark. Matt is back in General City currently wandering around with amnesia, and nobody's quite sure if that's real or an act. But fans are pretty much expecting those memories to come back eventually, and when they do, Matt's whole focus is going to be on tormenting and eliminating the Newman family. All of them. And that's exactly where Claire becomes unpredictable. Think about it, Claire lost her father, Cole Howard, way too soon. She barely got time to actually bond with him before he was gone, and that wound is still very raw. So if Matt starts circling Victoria again, making her a target, Claire is not going to just stand there and watch. She will not allow it. And then there's Nikki. If Matt goes anywhere near Grandma Nikki Newman, I genuinely think that's the match that lights the whole thing on fire. Claire's fractured past, the trauma she's carrying, the desperate need to protect the family she only just got accepted into, all of that combined with Matt's vendetta is a recipe for exactly the kind of breakdown Author was warning about. This could mean shocking actions from Claire, and spoilers are teasing that we're talking possibly dangerous, maybe even deadly moves as she tries to shield the Newmans from Matt. Here's what I find really compelling about the setup. Claire has basically been playing the good girl role since her release, and she's been doing it convincingly. But spoilers suggest the performance has a shelf life. And here's this really interesting parallel the show seems to be building. Matt's amnesia won't last forever, and neither will Claire's control. Both of them crack at roughly the same time. I wonder if Claire ends up doing something so extreme in Matt's direction that it forces the Newmans to question everything they thought they knew about who she's become. Like, they accepted her. They brought her in. Victoria especially invested emotionally in that relationship. So if Claire goes off the deep end, even to protect them, how does that change things? Does it bring them closer because she was trying to defend the family, or does it scare them enough to pull back? That's the tension this whole arc is building toward, and honestly, it could go either way. Author warned Noah, the show has been quietly setting this up, and Matt's return looks like it's going to be the thing that finally proves her right. Claire Newman, sweet and reformed on the surface, but underneath, the other side never really left. It was just waiting for the right reason to come back out. This one is going to get messy, and I am completely here for it.
Claire Newman, the identity that changed everything. Okay, so before I even start this, I need to hit you with a massive spoil warning. This entire video is going to be about one of the biggest plot twists in The Young and the Restless in the last few years. If you're currently watching the show and you're not caught up, or if you're thinking about starting and you want to experience the storyline fresh, you should probably stop here and come back later. But if you don't care about spoilers, or you've been following along already, or you're just curious about the behind-the-scenes stuff, then let me walk you through the full story of Claire Newman, her real identity, and the actress who plays her, Hayley Erin. This is wild. Let's go. So here's the setup. The Young and the Restless introduced a character named Claire Grace to the show in October 2023. She appeared out of nowhere as this calm, professional, kind of mysterious woman. And at first, nobody really knew what her deal was. She was just there, hanging around, and the show was playing this very specific game where they were revealing her slowly. But then, the twist came, and it's a big one. Claire Grace is not actually Claire Grace. Her real name is Eve Nicole Howard, and she's not just some random person. She's Victoria Newman and Cole Howard's biological daughter. She's supposed to have been dead her whole life. She was supposed to be dead for, like, 25 years. And suddenly she's back. And the person that to place her is Hayley Erin, who's actually been on The Young and the Restless before, but in a completely different role. And her return to the show and this specific storyline, it's become one of the most talked about arcs in the soap's recent history. Let me back up and explain how this character even exists, because that's kind of important to understanding the whole thing. So way back in 1998, November 9, 1998 to be specific, Victoria Newman and Cole Howard had a baby together. The baby was born prematurely, and the baby was a daughter. Her name was supposed to be Eve Nicole Howard. Eve, after Cole's mother. Nicole, just because. But here's where it gets dark. The baby was stolen at birth by Jordan Howard, who was Cole's aunt. So Jordan Howard took this baby, this infant Eve Nicole Howard, and she raised her as her own daughter under a completely false identity. She told the kid that her name was Claire Grace. She told her a whole false backstory. She isolated her. She controlled her. She essentially brainwashed this child into believing a completely different version of reality. And for 25 years, this kid lived that lie. She grew up thinking she was Claire Grace. She had no idea she was actually Victoria Newman's daughter. She had no idea her real mother was searching for her, mourning her, believing she was dead. She had no idea her father had no idea she existed. She had no idea any of that. And then, when she was an adult, when she came to Genoa City as Claire Grace, the truth started to come out. And it was massive. It was the kind of twist that changes everything about how you understand the character. It was the kind of twist that makes you reassess every scene she's been in, every interaction she's had, because now you understand where she's coming from. And Hayley Erin, the actress who plays this character, she had to play both versions of her. She had to play Claire, the calm professional woman, but who appeared in Genoa City with a hidden agenda. And then she had to play Eve, the traumatized daughter trying to figure out who she actually is after learning that her entire life was a lie. That's complex character work. That's the kind of role that really tests an actor's range. Now let's talk about Hayley Erin as an actress, because her career is actually really interesting.
She was born and raised, and she's been acting since pretty young. She's had a ton of television credits. We're talking NCIS, Modern Family, Big Love, Austin and Ally, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists. She's done guest spots on a lot of shows. But her soap opera work is really what defines her career. First, she played Abby Newman on The Young and the Restless from 2008 to 2010. So she was already on Y&R. She played a different character. She was part of the Newman family. And then she left. And then years later, she came back to the same show playing a completely different character, Claire Newman, who actually turns out to be related to the family she used to be part of. That's kind of cool in a meta way, right? But while she wasn't on Y&R, she did something really significant. She played Kiki Jerome on General Hospital from 2015 to 2019. And this is important because she won a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Younger Actress in a Drama Series for that role. A Daytime Emmy. That's not a small thing. That's recognition from the industry that she's a talented actress doing excellent work.
And not just any Daytime Emmy. She won for Outstanding Younger Actress. So she was competing against the best young actresses in daytime television, and she won. That says something about the quality of her work, the consistency of her performance, the respect she's earned in the industry. She was also on Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, which was a spin-off of the Pretty Little Liars franchise. That was on Freeform. She was part of an ensemble cast doing that kind of dramatic, mysterious, teen-oriented television. So she's not just a soap actress. She's worked in different genres, different formats, different types of shows. But soaps are clearly where her heart is. Or at least where her career is centered. Because after playing Kiki Jerome on General Hospital, she came back to The Young and the Restless. And not just as a guest or a recurring character. She came back as part of a major storyline. She came back as Claire Newman, who's actually Eve Nicole Howard. Now, let's talk about what this character means and why her storyline has been so significant. Claire entered Genoa City as this mysterious, calm, professional woman. She seemed fine. She seemed normal. She seemed like she was just passing through, or maybe she was interested in the Newman family for some reason, but nothing crazy. And then, bit by bit, the show revealed that there was something more going on. There was something hidden. She had some kind of hidden agenda. And then the big reveal happened. Claire is not who she says she is. Claire is Victoria Newman's daughter. The daughter everyone thought was dead. The daughter who was stolen at birth and raised by a woman of age who brainwashed her into thinking she was someone else. And at that point, the entire character recontextualized. Every scene she'd been in, you're reevaluating it. You're thinking about what she was thinking. You're thinking about her trauma. You're thinking about the fact that she had been raised by someone who lied to her entire life. And that's where Hayley Erin's performance becomes really crucial. Because she had to show us not just the shock of Claire learning the truth, but the trauma of it. The disorientation of finding out that everything you thought you knew about yourself was a lie. The broken pieces of a person who has to rebuild their entire sense of identity. That's heavy stuff. That's the kind of material that separates good actors from great actors. That's the kind of material that wins awards. And there's this layer to it too, which is that there's still this question about whether Claire is fully stable now. The show has played with the idea that she might still have a volatile side, that the brainwashing, the trauma, the isolation might have lasting effects, that she might not be completely safe or predictable. That there could be new threats that re-trigger her trauma and bring out versions of her that are darker or more dangerous. So, as an audience member, you don't fully know where she stands. You don't know if she's recovered or if she's just managing. And that's compelling storytelling. That keeps people invested. That makes them want to keep watching to see what happens next with Claire. Now, let me tell you about Hayley Erin as a person, because the actress and the character are obviously very different things. Hayley Erin is married to Irish actor Adam Fergus. They got married in 2020. So they've been married for about 6 years now. And they have 2 children together, twin daughters named Maud and Gio. So she's not just an actress. She's a wife and a mother. She's got a whole family life outside of acting. Before she married Adam Fergus, she dated someone named Logan Von Luke, also known as Logan Luke. But that relationship ended, and she moved on and found Adam, and they've built a life together. The twin daughters are actually a really detailed detail because a lot of soap fans don't know about them. Actors in soaps often keep their personal lives pretty private, especially when they have kids. They don't put their children's pictures on social media or talk about them constantly. They protect that privacy. And so if you're just following Hayley Erin's career as an actress, you might not know that she's raising twins. But that's her real life. That's what's happening outside of the soap opera world. As for her net worth, there's not really a confirmed figure that you can trust. Some older sources have estimated it around $1 million, but that's not current. And a lot of entertainment websites throw out much higher numbers, but they conflict with each other and they don't cite reliable sources. So honestly, the safest thing to say is that her exact net worth is not publicly confirmed by any dependable source. She's clearly done well for herself. She's had steady work. She's won an Emmy. She's been on multiple shows. But the exact figure? Nobody knows for sure. What we do know is that she's had a consistent career in television. She's worked on major shows. She's been recognized by the industry. She's earning enough to support herself and her family. And that's probably what matters more than any specific number. Now, here's something really interesting about Hayley Erin's career that doesn't come up a lot. She's played 2 different notable roles on the same soap, The Young and the Restless. First, she played Abby Newman from 2008 to 2010. And then, years later, She came back and played Claire Newman, who is actually Eve Nicole Howard, who is connected to the Newman family in a whole different way. So she's essentially had two distinct eras on the same show, playing different characters. That's kind of unusual. Most actors don't come back to the same soap to play a completely different character. They might guest spot or something, but they don't usually come back for a major, ongoing role. But that's what happened with Hayley Erin. She came back. And not only did she come back, but she came back for one of the biggest storylines the show has had in years. She came back to be part of a major family twist that rewrote soap opera history for multiple characters on the show. That speaks to her reputation in the industry. That speaks to the fact that producers and showrunners trust her. They wanted her back. They wanted her for this specific role. They saw something in her that made them think she was the right person to play Claire Newman and navigate this incredibly complex character arc. And honestly, I think they made a good choice. Because the character of Claire is one of those characters that could have been played a ton of different ways. She could have been played as completely unhinged, like a villain. She could have been played as a victim, completely passive and broken. She could have been played as emotionally flat, like someone who was so damaged that she couldn't feel anything. But what Hayley Erin brings to the role is nuance. She plays Claire as someone who is intelligent, capable, trying to navigate a situation that's been completely upended. She's traumatized, but she's not helpless. She's confused, but she's not stupid. She has agency. She has complexity. And that makes her interesting to watch. The character of Claire has become one of the Young and the Restless's most talked characters in recent years, specifically because of how Hayley Erin plays her. Because she makes you care about this person. She makes you understand her perspective. She makes you see the trauma without making it her only characteristic. Now, let's talk about the family on the show, because that's a huge part of Claire's storyline. Her parents are Victoria Newman and Cole Howard. Victoria is the iconic Newman. She's been on the show forever. She's been through everything. She's the matriarch of a generation of Newmans. And Cole was her love interest. They had this whole history together. And Claire is their biological daughter. The one they never got to raise because she was stolen at birth. The one they grieved. The one they thought was dead. And now she's back. And now they have to figure out how to have a relationship with her as adults. Victoria has other children already. She's got a whole established family. So Claire is coming into a family situation that's already defined, already complex. And she's trying to figure out where she fits. She's trying to figure out how to have relationships with people who are her blood relatives but who are also, in some ways, strangers to her. And that's heartbreaking and complicated and fascinating from a storytelling perspective. Because it's not like Claire comes home and everything's fine and they're one happy family. It's messy. It's difficult. It requires actual work and emotional labor to build these relationships. That's the kind of storytelling that soap operas do really well. It's intimate. It's about family and relationships and the work that goes into maintaining them. Now, here's something that's worth noting about Hayley Erin's career trajectory. She won an Emmy for her work on General Hospital. That's a significant achievement. That's the kind of thing that can change your career. That's the kind of thing that gets you noticed by bigger productions, by casting directors, by people in the industry. And then she came back to the Young and the Restless to play Claire Newman. And she's being recognized in that role too. She's part of storylines that people are talking about. She's part of conversations about the show's direction and the quality of storytelling. She's relevant. And I think that's actually a really good position to be in as an actor because you've got the Emmy recognition, which gives you credibility. But you're also on a major network show, playing a significant character as part of ongoing storylines that matter. That's not a small thing. Some actors would take an Emmy win and use it as a spring, or to try to break into film, or to move to cable, or to pursue other things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Hayley Erin chose to come back to soaps. She chose to come back to the Young and the Restless specifically. And that says something about her priorities or her values or just her understanding of what kind of work she wants to do. Or maybe it's just that the Claire Newman role was too good to pass up. Maybe the producers made her an offer she couldn't refuse. Maybe they said, "We want you for this role. We want you for the storyline." And she said yes. And she's been delivering incredible performances as a result. The thing about the Claire Newman storyline is that it's still ongoing. She's still discovering who she is. She's still dealing with the aftermath of the brainwashing and the trauma. She's still building relationships with her biological family. She's still navigating a life that's fundamentally different from a life she thought she had. And that means Hayley Erin has ongoing material to work with. She has an ongoing character arc. She's not just playing a one-note character. She's playing someone who's evolving and changing and growing. That's the kind of role that keeps an actor engaged. That's the kind of role that challenges you. So in 2026, we're living in a world where Hayley Erin is still playing Claire Newman on The Young and the Restless. She's still winning hearts as this complex, traumatized, brave character who's trying to figure out who she is. She's still Emmy-nominated and critically recognized for her work. She's still married to Adam Fergus. She's still raising their twin daughters. She's still working as an actress. And the Claire Newman storyline, it's become one of the defining arcs of The Young and the Restless in the 2020s. It's the kind of storyline that people remember. It's the kind of character that people care about. And a lot of that is because of the actress who plays her. Because here's the thing about soap operas. They're only as good as the actors in them. Because everything else, the writing, the production, the technical stuff, all of that is just window dressing. What matters is the actor. What matters is whether the actor can make you believe in a character. Whether they can make you care. Whether they can make you invested in a story. And Hayley Erin does that. She makes you believe in Claire Newman. She makes you understand her. She makes you root for her to figure out who she is and build a life that's real and meaningful. So yeah, Claire Newman, Eve Nicole Howard, the daughter who was stolen at birth, the daughter who was lied to her entire life, the daughter who came back and changed everything about how we understand the Young and the Restless and the Newman family, and the actress who plays her, Hayley Erin, Emmy winner, soap veteran, mother of twins, is the person who brings all of that to life. She's the person who makes it matter. She's the person who makes it real. That's pretty remarkable when you actually think about it. That's the power of a good actor in a good role on a show that people care about. That's how stories get told. That's how characters become iconic. That's how television actually changes people and stays with them and becomes part of their lives.
Okay, you stayed all the way to the end, and that genuinely means the world. If these spoilers are hitting for you, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a like, and tell me in the comments what you think Claire is going to do when Matt's memories come back. Your support is literally what keeps the channel alive and pushing out full spoilers and short, clean videos. Don't miss the next one. See you there.